Hi guys. How's everybody today? It's post Monday holiday Tuesday in the United States. It always messes me up. I want you to know, I hope everybody's had a good day, by the way. I was working and saving lives all day. So since been up since 5 a.m. And been at work since 7. It's now well after dinner. I've re-recorded this opening. This is my 5th time. I'm not going to go down there anymore. Regarding the reading on this Jerry Ingarnella guy, very dark energy. Yes, I chose the wrong deck when I used my Lightseer. Lightseer deck is now in retirement until further notice. Don't ask me to use it because I won't. I have probably 50 decks. So I can find certainly something else. Okay? I hope everyone's having a great day. To get scared. A bit scared. Don't be afraid. It hurt my feelings to be compared with other readers. Because it makes you feel insignificant and as if you are not good enough. Now, I am not suggesting that was the intention. Might have been. But I'm not saying that it was. I just don't like it. And I know other readers don't like it. And if I were to go into a live that, let's just say, Kevin's loving, who I love his gifted man. If I went on a live that he did right now and I said, you know, Kevin, Sterling said, da 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 da, and then I heard it on fill in the blanks name, whatever, channel 2. Do you know what Kevin would probably do? Well, he knows me already. I've had readings from him. And he already knows my name. But I'm just saying, in theory, he'd read me a new one. Which wouldn't be a bad thing. I would deserve it. Please don't do that. Thank you. So we're going to start fresh. Today, I had a couple questions here that I was asked. Yeah. I've decided to rename Felon 45. I'm borrowing the name from somebody I saw who called him Doris. And I just thought it was the funniest thing I ever, right? So I'm going to call him Doris. I hope you don't mind. I may slip, but, So somebody asked me a question to read on Merrick Garland. And what don't we know about him? Or was he, now it is my opinion. I have no idea. I've never read on him. It's my opinion that he was just a meek, too thoughtful, too fearful for the Attorney General. I want someone in that role, but I know she's a badass. She'd be so great, Jasmine Crockett. But then again, I also think Jasmine Crockett is going to one day, possibly not in my lifetime, she's going to sit in that office of Oval, and she's going to have that big, beautiful desk that she chooses. I believe that. So anyway, and I really think that the person who, and she's a lawyer, so you couldn't have AOC in there as Attorney General, but I think the person who is the Attorney General should be a lawyer and should not be a judge. Judges are too, pondery. Anyway, I want to know about Merrick Garland. What's the real scoop on Merrick Garland? Oh, by the way, I'm using Apparition, a Spirit Speak tarot deck. I really like these cards. I don't know them well, but I'll struggle through it, as any of us would. Just saying. All right, let's see what we got here. The Four of Swords. Well, this is a card of repose. Taking a break, temporarily or permanently. Four of Swords. Well, we know we don't know that he's not well or unwell or whatever, but I have no reason to. I'll ask my rods. Ace of Pentacles. I'm just going to put some cards down, okay? I'm going to show these to you, and then I'm going to do my interpretation. This just pissed me off. Oh, I'm just having a day? You think it's PMS? If any of you say yes, I'm going to love you forever. Judgment. See how he's treading water? You see that? Yellow light coming down from the heavens. The skeleton is in water. The time on the clock. And the spiral. Like I say, I don't know the deck well, but I know what the Judgment card is. It's just different in every deck. I look at this and I see him treading water. And not that water is green, I'm just saying. The Knight of Wands. These are all the airplane, the car, the horse, the bird. All methods of movement. And you remember I told you that wands are about movement or action, information coming in. Interesting. Let's pull one more. the world. This is a card of endings and new beginnings. Every animal practically is represented. The snake, the butterfly, the elephant, the cat, the fish, the zebra. The whole world is watching. You know I have to pick one more card. Who am I kidding? Three of Pentacles. A deal being made. You thought I was mad before? Let's pull some clarifiers with this one. This is called the Mystic Soul Tarot deck. I think I used it yesterday. Could be wrong, but I believe I did. These are really beautiful cards. I mean, they're small, but they're beautiful. Let's pull some clarifiers. I'll tell you what's bugging me. Okay. This is typically a card of repose, taking a break, taking a rest, which I'm sure he's doing all of that. It's also a card that can signify an unaliveness. I do not see that. I don't see that in this card based on Merrick Garland, okay? I see him taking a break. The Ace of Pentacles is what began to piss me off because this is money, jewelry, fruit. Here we go again with the fruit. I want the fruit. And the sun. But it's about money. Then the next card is kind of keeping your head above treading water. That's all I see. That's what it makes me think of. I don't know why it's a skeleton. But it is. And then the Knight of Wands. Different modes of transportation, which the Knight cards are typically cards that are like kind of like protectors of the realm, if it were. Younger people. I'm not feeling that with this card. All of these things, the airplane, the horse, the bird, and the car, are methods of transportation. No, you're not going to take the bird for a flight. I get it. But all of these cards, like wands, not the cars, all of these symbols, like wands, are symbols of movement and action. And that's why I say, when I say that about wands, it's all about action, movement, information maybe. I don't necessarily feel information from that card. But then I pulled the World, and that's about completions. And yes, it could be the whole world's watching, da-da-da-da-da. But I see a completion. He did his thing. And I pulled another card because, you know, I can't stand myself if I don't pull another. And I get the Three of Pentacles, which is a card for me that's about making deals. You see down here these three people? I think you know where I'm going here. All right. I'm going to use these cards as clarifiers. Different deck. This one is Mystic Soul Tarot deck. The Mystic Soul Tarot deck. And let's clarify some of these. King of Cups. Well, the King of Cups is a very loving king who brings gifts and kindness. You see all that water, there's all that emotion. The King of Cups put Merrick Garland in office. The King of Cups is not about Doris, okay? I think Joe was very disappointed. King of Cups. Look what I got. Another Three of Cups. Now, this is a card more or less of celebration. Are we celebrating the fact that he's no longer there? Because between you and me, I'd rather have him than this Bondi babe. The Four of Cups. Refusing that fourth cup. They're all filled. And this one is this person is just, nope, I don't want it. Don't give it to me. Da 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 da. I'm going to go in the middle. Six of Wands. This guy looks like almost like a cross. It's not a guy, it's a girl, I think. This looks almost like a cross between James Brown and Prince. How do I see this card? He's on stage in all his glory. This is not a card whereby, well, he's moving, but he's not moving away. This is like a card of entertainment almost. You see the hands up, guys singing, etc. Six of Wands. Nine of Wands. Exhaustion, but she's out from behind the wands. And as you know, the wands are movement and information. And she's just trying to catch her breath. She's sweating. And this is clarifying the world. I'm going to pull another card from the middle or toward the end. The Sun. Okay. I forgot this You guys, don't let me forget this. This is for entertainment purposes only, YouTube, and nothing less and nothing more. The sun, which lies underneath the deal making. Now, let me just kind of resting and compassion. Ace of Pentacles, money. The Three of Cups, celebration. Judgment. And the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is like thumbing your nose up at something given to you. What a brat. The Knight of Wands versus the Six of Wands. Movement. Knight of Wands, Six of Wands. Not sure how that compares. The World and the Nine of Wands. The World and the Nine of Wands. She's exhausted, but she's free. She's almost, it's like running, she's like running a race to get to 10, which is the card of completion. Three of Pentacles and the Sun. The sun is beautiful. The sun is illumination, shining a light on everything. All things unknown will be known. And that is clarifying the Three of Pentacles, the deal making. All right. Where are you? Okay. Let's see what the rods have to say. Spirit, are you with me? I see the cursor right in the middle. Okay, sorry. Spirit, do you know how OCD I am right now over these rods? I don't like being criticized. I'm a Capricorn. Read up on Capricorns. Richard Nixon was a Capricorn. He didn't like being criticized either, even though he well deserved it. Elvis Presley is a Capricorn. Okay. Spirit, are these cards below, which are pulled on Merrick Garland? The top row is... Spirit doesn't like these cards. The top row is my first row of cards. Okay. And the bottom is my clarifier. Are these cards trying to tell me that Merrick Garland was on the take? Yes. Let me ask a different way. Spirit, when Merrick Garland was the Attorney General, was he being very careful and judicious and not, overreacting because that's the kind of guy he is? Or was he dragging his feet because he was paid to do that? Okay, the answer is no. Okay. Was Merrick Garland paid to drag his feet? This is a maybe. This is not no. It wants to cross, but it won't. Spirit, be real now. Come on. Was Merrick Garland on the take? I'm going to cry. Okay. Let's pull a whole different spread, okay? And these cards aren't too nice or not nice enough. Merrick Garland was kind of like a. Remember Harry Reid, who used to be the head of the Senate, the Senate leader? Very kind of milk toasty guy. Very nice man. Did a lot that people have forgotten. But he wasn't aggressive by any stretch. By the way, Harry Reid, in his younger years, was a boxer. I don't know if any of you know that, but I do. Anyway, I don't think Merrick Garland had the cojones for that job. And I think Joe Biden knew him well from another time. And I don't think Joe Biden, in fact, I know Biden wouldn't have intentionally put someone on the take in his cabinet. Not a chance. He had some badasses in there. I have to blow out this candle. It's making me sick. Hold on. Okay. Let's use these cards. This Mystic Soul Tarot deck. We're going to use this one for a straight on pull real quick on Merrick Garland. 3 cards. King of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. This is the Truth card. I don't think he will. I don't think so. 2 of Swords. Making a decision. That was his problem. He couldn't make decisions. I feel so much better, I can't even tell you. I always thought he was too hesitant, you know what I mean, to decide. There's a woman who worked in the Department of Justice for a really long time. Her name is Lisa Monaco. She was in there when Barack was president. She wasn't the Attorney General, but she was like the assistant. And she was right? I wanted her so badly when Joe took office, but, he felt otherwise. I think in some respects, maybe he was trying to make up for what Mitchie the Kid did in January, because it was an election year in January, and he wouldn't let Barack, literally would not allow it because he was the leader of the Senate, and he could just simply not take it up. Nope, we're not doing it. Even though the election was in November. But then when Ruth died, within 6 weeks, Amy Coney Barrett was sitting in her seat. But here's the kicker with Amy. It is true that she is a Federalist Society person. It is true that she's a Republican, perhaps in a more classic sense. But she has voted many times with what you might call the other ladies, the Dems, and maybe dragged the Chief Justice with her. Ace of Swords, this is the sword of truth. Two of Swords, all swords. It's legal stuff, right? Making a decision, which was his weakness. I feel much better now. And the King of Pentacles. Pentacles, money. The King. He was too slow to make a decision about Doris, even though he knew the truth. Even though he knew the truth. Sometimes you just gotta go out on a limb, and if you have 9 out of 10 provability issues, go for it. Michael Cohen went crazy. Michael Cohen, he knew. I do not think that based on this and the clarification and the second poll, I do not think Merrick Garland was on the take. I got a little nervous there when I saw the deal-making bit. I think he knew that there was deal-making going on. And I think that he how he could look the other way, how he could be dragging his feet, at the very least, subpoena these people. When I was a younger person and going to college, I was my undergrad major, I was pre-law. I didn't know Jasmine Crockett then because she wasn't born. I didn't know Stacey Abrams yet because she wasn't born. Or maybe she was, but she was like a little kid. I wanted to be the Stacey Abrams, the Jasmine Crockett in a court of law, I might add. That would be, if I were 18 or 19, those would be my role models. And I'd be going right after it, hard. All I would do would be studying. Okay, well. But that was, a long time ago. But Spirit Is Merrick Garland a good man? Yes. Spirit, does Merrick Garland have regrets? Yes. Let me move my hand some more. Oh, that just made me mad. Spirit, does Merrick Garland have a lot of regret? Here's the big one. Spirit, does my beloved Joe Biden regret putting him in as the Attorney General? I knew that. I just wanted to prove it. Anyway, you know I love you guys. I really do. I light up when you send me a comment. I'm like, someone sent me a comment. So please take my lecture with a grain of salt, because in no way, shape, or form was I talking about you guys. I know that I already double checked. I went through every subscriber because I have a list, because they're on my channel. So I have access. The people that I'm talking about were not subscribers. I don't even mean to imply that they were trolls. They didn't ask it rudely, but I do want to say, I'm sorry I was such a cranky bitch. That might get me thrown off, but I'm going to take my chances. I love you guys. I really do. This is the highlight of my day, reading for you. Seriously. Tomorrow there will be 2 videos, unless they've shut me down by then, in which case you'll all know. I'm going to do 2 videos tomorrow. I'll do one like kind of late morning, maybe before noon, and then I'll do another one like after dinner, okay? And I promise you I will be in a much, much more festive and happy mood, because I'm not working tomorrow. And so I'll have more sleep, okay? I hope you'll forgive me. You know, I'm not pointing my finger at any of you guys at all. So I send you love, I send you light, and I send you peace.